Students, in yesterday class we have studied about eubacteria, cyanobacteria and archaebacteria in Monera, and also today we will discuss about the remaining topics of Monera. Mycoplasma. Mycoplasma. What is meant by mycoplasma and the characters of the mycoplasma? And here students, mycoplasma is the smallest living cell in both plant kingdom and animal kingdom. It is the smallest living cell. Mycoplasmas are the smallest living cells. These are smallest living cells. And also called as, these are also called as PPLO. PPLO means pleuropneumonia like organisms. What is meant by PPLO? Also called as PPLO means pleuropneumonia like organisms. Pleuropneumonia like organisms, and they cause many diseases in both plants and animals. They can cause many diseases in both plants and animals. Plants and animals. Plants and animals. And they are the pathogens. They are the pathogens which can infect both animals and plants. So most of these are pleomorphic. What is meant by pleomorphic, students? The cells which can change their shape and structure based on the environment. The cells which can change their shape and structure based on the environment is called as pleomorphism. So these are mostly pleomorphic. They are depend upon the environment and they can change their shape. It's called as pleomorphic. They can change their shape based on environment. And mostly these can cause the diseases in plants and cattle and humans. In plants they can cause the diseases witch's broom. Witch's broom is the disease can cause by mycoplasma in plants, where in cattle pleuropneumonia. And also in humans it can produce mycoplasmal urethritis. Pleuropneumonia in cattle. Cattle means the animals which can eat the grasses is called as cattle. And plants witch's broom, and in humans mycoplasmal urethritis can caused by mycoplasma. So this is about the mycoplasma. Mycoplasma is the main characteristic feature of the mycoplasma is this is the smallest living cell in the plant kingdom and also animal kingdom, and even it can smaller than bacteria. Small bacteria, mycoplasmal urethritis. Okay, pleuropneumonia like organisms. These are called as pleuropneumonia like organisms. And students, next one we will discuss about actinomycetes. So what are the actinomycetes? So mainly these are branched and filamentous organisms. These are branched and filamentous organisms. and they can produce radiating colonies. They can produce radiating colonies. Radiating colonies means they are formed like a groups, is called as the radiating colonies. They produced radiating colonies. Next one. Okay, sir. Next one. The cell wall contain mycolic acid. The cell wall contain a chemical is called as mycolic acid, and most of these are saprophytes. These are mostly saprophytes. These are mostly saprophytes. And what is meant by saprophyte and parasite? Already we know about parasites. Parasites are the organisms can depend on the living organisms, is called as parasites. ఏవైతే ఆర్గనిజమ్స్ లివింగ్ ఆర్గనిజమ్స్ మీద డిపెండ్ అయ్యాయి వాటిని పారాసైట్స్ అంటాము. ఏవైతే ఆర్గనిజమ్స్ చనిపోయినటువంటి ఆర్గానిక్ మెటీరియల్ మీద డిపెండ్ అయ్యాయో వాటిని ఏమన్నాం, సాప్రోఫైట్స్ అన్నాం. సో దే ఆర్ డిపెండ్ అపాన్ ద డెడ్ అండ్ డికేయింగ్ ఆర్గానిక్ మెటీరియల్స్. అండ్ ఆల్సో సమ్ ఆర్ parasites. Some are parasites. And what are the some are parasites? Are Corynebacterium and Mycobacterium. Corynebacterium and Mycobacterium are the parasites. Corynebacterium and Mycobacterium are the parasites, and most of these are saprophytes. Most of these are depend upon the dead and decaying organisms, but some are parasites like Corynebacterium and Mycobacterium. Okay, next. And mostly antibiotics are produced by the genus Streptococcus. So most of the antibiotics are produced by the genus Streptococcus. Streptococcus అనే ఒక ఆర్గానిజం నుంచి ఎక్కువగా యాంటీబయాటిక్స్ అనేవి ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తారు. Streptococcus belongs to the species Actinomycetes. So these are mostly branched and filamentous organisms. And Corynebacterium and Mycobacterium are the parasites. Corynebacterium and Mycobacterium are the parasites. So these are the mostly important characters of the Actinomycetes. And next we will discuss about Monera is complete, and we will go for Protista. The kingdom Protista. Monera is complete. In Monera there are Archaebacteria, Eubacteria and Mycoplasma and Actinomycetes are present. Alage in Protista there are also some organisms are present like Chrysophytes, Dinoflagellates and euglenoids. Chrysophytes and dinoflagellates and euglenoids are the most important organisms belongs to Protista. So first of all we will discuss about the salient characters of the Chrysophytes. Students, please watch carefully or listen carefully. Chrysophytes, these are mostly grouped under diatoms and desmids. Diatoms and desmids అనే ఒక గ్రూప్ లో వీటిని చేర్చారు. So these are grouped under diatoms and desmids. And the desmids also called as the golden algae. In last time MCET point of view, this is the most important question. Golden algae. What is the golden algae? Golden algae. Desmids are the golden algae. Okay. Desmids are the golden algae, and these are mostly they can live in fresh water. So these are mostly freshwater organisms. These are mostly freshwater organisms. These are mostly freshwater. These are found in fresh water. Mostly freshwater organisms. And also these are present in marine water and also marine condition, and sea water we can found they in as well as sea water and or marine water and also fresh water. Okay, and these are the chief producers of the ocean. What are the chief producers? Chief producers are the chrysophytes. What is meant by chief producers? So అత్యంత విలువైన అత్యంత వాల్యుబుల్ అయినటువంటి ఆ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ని ఇవి ఫామ్ చేస్తాయి కాబట్టి వీటిని ఏమన్నామంటే చీఫ్ ప్రొడ్యూసర్స్ ఆఫ్ ది ఓషన్. ముత్యాలు లాంటి వాటిని ఇవి ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తాయి కాబట్టి దే ఆర్ వెరీ ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్. సో అటువంటి వాటిని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తాయి కాబట్టి వీటిని ఏమన్నాం మనము చీఫ్ ప్రొడ్యూసర్స్ ఆఫ్ ఓషియన్. And here students, so this is the cell wall. So this is the cell wall of the chrysophytes. And how they are arranged? They are overlapping with two shells. They are overlapping with two shells. And one is epitheca. Upper one is epitheca. Overlap hypotheca. Epitheca and hypotheca. The cell wall overlapping with two shells. One is epitheca and hypotheca. Epitheca and hypotheca. Here the epitheca overlaps hypotheca. And this is another characteristic feature of the cell wall is it is arranged like a soap box. And students, this is the most important. And the cell walls, which organism cell walls is arranged as soap box? Chrysophytes. And hypotheca and epitheca. Here the epitheca is overlaps the hypotheca. Hypo means below side, epi means upper side. So this is the most important for studying. And next one, these are mostly microscopic. Microscopic means they are minute in size. These are microscopic, so they can easily float in water currents. Easily float in water currents. They can easily float in water currents. And students, here the most important, the chrysophytes can photosynthetic autotrophs, means they can prepare the food materials by their own by using sunlight. So these are called as photosynthetic autotrophs. These are mostly photosynthetic autotrophs. So these are the most important characters. Please listen carefully. And these are very easy characters to identify. Okay, and chrysophytes is containing many important characters. Students, the cell wall is made up of silica. And silica is the most indestructible material. Cell wall is made up of silica. Cell wall is made up of silica. It is most indestructible. Mostly indestructible. Cell wall is indestructible. Silica. The material silica. The cell wall is made up of silica. In chrysophytes, the cell wall is made up of silica. Okay, is it clear, students? The first of all, these are grouped under diatoms and desmids. Okay, next these are freshwater and also marine water organisms, and these are the chief producers of the ocean, and they are overlapping with two shells, whereas called as epitheca and also hypotheca. Here the epitheca can overlap hypotheca. Okay, these are microscopic in nature. These are very minute in size, and they are freely float on water currents. A cell wall is arranged like a soap box, whereas the cell wall is made up of silica. And students, here the cell wall, these cell walls are accumulated. So this is the sea or ocean. This is the sea or ocean. So these are the cell walls of the chrysophytes. These are the cell walls of the chrysophytes. Please watch carefully. The cell walls of the chrysophytes are accumulate. Here they are all accumulate from over the billions of years. ఎప్పటి నుంచి ఉన్నాయి? ఓవర్ ద బిలియన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇయర్స్. కొన్ని బిలియన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇయర్స్ నుంచి ఆ సెల్ వాల్స్ అనేవి అక్కడే ఉన్నాయి. దీన్ని ఏమన్నామంటే మనము కైసిల్గర్ అన్నాం. ఏమన్నాము? కైసిల్గర్. ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ కైసిల్గర్ ఆర్ ఆల్సో కాల్డ్ యాజ్ డయాటమేషియస్ ఎర్త్. It is called as diatomaceous earth or also called as Kaisilgar. Are also called as Kaisilgar. And here the cell walls are accumulate. The cell walls are accumulate over the billions of years. The cell walls are accumulated over the billions of years. Is called diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth are also called as Kaisilgar. Are also called as Kaisilgar. Kaisilgar. So the soil which is obtaining from the diatomaceous earth, here the soil which is obtaining from the diatomaceous earth, diatomaceous earth నుంచి తీసుకున్నటువంటి soil ఏదైతే ఉందో, they are useful for the filtration of oils and syrups. Filtration of oils and syrups. So it is the most important. So importance of chrysophytes. Importance of chrysophytes. So the soil which is taken from the diatomaceous earth, the soil of diatomaceous earth is useful for the filtrating of soils. Useful for filtering of soil, filtering of the soil, useful for filtration of the soil, filtration of the oils and syrups. Oils and syrups, because they are gritty in nature. Because they are gritty in nature. They are gritty. Gritty means they are very hard. Gritty in nature. So they are useful for the filtration of the oils and syrup. So this is the most importance of the chrysophytes. Where the cell walls of the chrysophytes, are accumulated over the billions of the years. The sand or the soil which is taken from the diatomaceous earth is useful for the filtrating of oils and syrups, because they are gritty in nature. So this is about the chrysophytes. And mostly chrysophytes are reproduced by, so the reproduction of chrysophytes. So it may be reproduced by asexual by spores, and sexual by gametes. and most of these spores are oxospores. Oxospores, it is also most important. Oxospores, what is meant by oxospores? Oxospores are the rejuvenatory spores. Rejuvenatory spores. Oxospores are rejuvenatory spores. So through the oxospores the chrysophytes can be reproduced. Okay na? So this is about the chrysophytes which is belongs to the protista. And students, tomorrow we will discuss about the euglenids and the dinoflagellates. Thank you very much.